Good morning, traders. Welcome to the Phoenix Blue morning update for Friday the 1st of April. I'm Tom Colley and I'll be taking you through the markets and the news this morning. Focus inevitably will be on non-farm payroll numbers out this afternoon. We're at the end of another trading week, beginning of a new trading quarter, and I know it's been a difficult week of trading. Many of our Phoenix Blue traders are sitting on the sidelines, having experienced a couple of losses earlier in the week. And that has proven to be a wise move because the markets have continued to be unpredictable throughout the week. Okay, let's start off with the news announcements. For today, we've already had overnight manufacturing PMI numbers from China. A bit of a surprise here. We've had some positive numbers ahead of forecast and above 50, which means growth on the official government manufacturing figures. The private Caixin manufacturing figures, again above forecast, but just below 50% being the break point between growth and contraction. What do we have to look forward to today? Manufacturing PMI for the UK at 9:30, and then the big one, non-farm employment change at 1:30 from the States. We'll be looking obviously at this figure here, but based on our most recent experience of this particular news announcement, it's the average hourly earnings month on month, which will be more significant potentially than the actual jobs figure. So we'll be looking to this for guidance to a greater extent than the simple employment change numbers, and bearing in mind where we are at the start of a new quarter. We're in a short week from the bank holiday. We've had a lot of volatility in the market this week. We won't be looking to trade the non-farm news this time or this month. After that, as always, got the ISM manufacturing from the States at 3 o'clock. Okay, let's go and have a look at the Far Eastern market, starting off with the Shanghai Composite. Well, we had some manufacturing growth numbers there which were positive or at least ahead of forecast, but it doesn't seem to have had a positive effect on the Shanghai Composite. We've had a bearish day, still within this perspective channel. I say perspective because it hasn't actually completed to an extent that I would call it a channel yet. Significantly, over on the Nikkei, a huge bearish down day. I think this is down towards 3% today. Why is that? Well, there's been a lot of negativity coming out of Japan recently. I highlighted these figures for the preliminary industrial production on Wednesday. Although these are a low impact news event normally, this figure was significant because it was the biggest drop in industrial production since the 2011 earthquake. Then overnight we've had the manufacturing index and the non-manufacturing index, both of these reading significantly lower, everything looking negative for the Japanese economy. Desperately looking for inflation in that economy. We've been suffering, or that economy has been suffering for nearly 20 years of almost stagnation. Okay, over on the US dollar, all about non-farm figures that we were talking about earlier. Earlier in the week we mentioned this rising trend line overlooking this anomaly here. Price at the moment is sitting around the 94.50 level in confluence with this trend line. Obviously we'll be looking to see what happens at this point if we get negative numbers or negative interpretation of the hourly earnings report. We'll see price break below there. Next key level for me is around 93.24, and that is a very significant level should that happen. Over on the yen, well, the yen, we mentioned the negative picture in the Japanese economy, but despite that, the Japanese yen still strengthening against the US dollar. It does suffer from being a safe haven currency, so monies will flow into the Japanese yen when there's uncertainty in the market. We've had 3 consecutive trades from this area here, based on what we term Bank of Japan intervention. So Bank of Japan have drawn a line in the sand effectively and said we won't allow price to come down to this level. Should we get bad NFP figures today and price come down and retest this level, we would expect the Bank of Japan to come into the market again and force a bottom. Okay, over on the euro, well, we're approaching, this is the weekly chart, we're approaching a key level here. The result of non-farm today will probably determine whether we reach this level and bounce back down to the short side, or if the figures are poor. If we see a break above this level, then that's a very significant level, as you can see on this weekly chart. Our picture and bias will have to, certainly in the medium term, change significantly. Okay, that's the FX markets. Just to bring you up to date on a couple of commodities markets that we're trading at the moment. We're short copper. We've been looking for an add-in entry at this level here. Price didn't pull back yesterday. If it pulls back today, we won't be taking a trade through NFP. We are sidelined this week because of results earlier in the week and events in the marketplace. So if that does pull back and we miss it, so be it. On a more optimistic note, we might wait until Monday and see a pullback there and be able to take that trade short as an add-in again. Over on cocoa, well, it's certainly this week it's been a bit volatile to say the least, like the rest of the markets. This is our stop loss from our original order at break even. We've had profits off the table. Price has drawn back further than we actually thought it would. We expected that we might get an add-in trade. In fact, I think we took a losing add-in trade at this 2993, 2994 level. We'll be looking for a close above that and a pullback for another opportunity to add in. We did have this big down spike yesterday, down towards our stop. We are still very bullish this market. Even if we do get stopped at this point, we'll have still made money. We still have a very bullish view on this market, and our target will remain at these levels over here. Okay, with NFP to look forward to today, a brief update. If you're interested in what you hear or what you see, if you want to trade clean charts, buy and sell with the banks, have a fundamental bias, please email us at info@phoenixblue.co.uk. If you want to have any questions about this specific update, my email is tom@phoenixblue.co.uk. Okay, so it just remains for me to wish you a good weekend, and we'll talk to you again in the morning. Goodbye.